rolling.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Get a little closer here.
What a weekend.
Yeah. You had one hell of a weekend. Fortunately, you were too afraid to gamble on it.
I did not listen to myself. And what I mean by that is, if you watched last week, you got every single pick right except for the Texans over the Jets.
Which
who could have called that?
we talked about it, right? Remember, we thought that was a weird line because the Jets were favored, and it's like, how can the Jets be favored in this game when Houston is usually and Vegas knew.
They knew something we didn't.
Vegas usually always knows.
So, yeah, that's that. Also, college football. I think James Franklin again doesn't get the job done versus Ohio State. So, yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and. Oh, also, I know we haven't talked about NASCAR in a while.
Oh, we got NASCAR news.
Breaking
news.
So the championship is this weekend. So there's four drivers. I mean, they're all 40 drivers or whatever will be racing, but the four that are there's four drivers that are locked into the championship.
Okay.
So, this past weekend at Martinsville,
all right,
they had some drama at the end. Ryan Blaney came back and won the race. And there was Christopher Bell and William Byron tied.
Okay.
Because one person kind of slowed down and let Christopher Bell go by. And then he rode the wall, kind of like, I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, someone rode the wall and so he did that. But it wasn't as egregious.
Yeah.
So they ended in a tie. It was
dead heat. Okay.
Yeah. So with that, NASCAR had to make a ruling on the situation, and they deemed that Bell's move was unsafe because he essentially rode the wall, and so he got kicked out.
Wow.
So little drama there.
Been some interesting happenings at NASCAR this year. I don't, I mean, obviously, I haven't been the biggest fan of it, but you can attest to this. I mean, has there been a year that's had more controversy than this year? In a while, at least?
I don't think so.
I mean,
lots of drama.
We had the fights. We had the guy wrecking two cars just to try to win the race.
Yeah.
I mean, NASCAR's turned into a little soap opera there.
Yeah, lots of drama, redneck drama. So,
love that.
Yeah, but on to our Week 9 picks. As we both talked about Thursday night, we had the Texans over the Jets. Obviously, we were both wrong.
We both had a Joe Mixon anytime touchdown, though.
Yeah.
We threw that at each other.
And so the Jets showed some signs of life.
Adams got on the board, finally finding a rhythm in that offense and everything. And, I mean, I think the much bigger story is the fact that they were the Jets' defense stepped up, finally, and were able to hold Houston. Now, granted, I was talking about
they were down had some injuries.
Top two receivers on the team, they were down.
Yeah.
So that's a big loss, but you can't, after the year that they had last year, you can't write the season off.
No.
Right? And you can't, but I would not have thought that offense would have staggered that much because Mixon still had over 100 yards and a touch, so your running game was still there. But so was it more of the Texans offense slacking or the Jets defense stepping up finally?
I think the Jets defense, stepped up. Also, you got Sauce Gardner. He can match up with the one top flight receiver that they still have.
Yep.
So, yeah, made I don't know. I didn't watch the game. I'll be honest. It was Halloween.
Yeah,
it was.
I watched a little bit and then had to cut it off. So definitely dad's moments for sure. Last week galore with that.
Yeah. So then Sunday we had Dallas at Atlanta. We both had Atlanta. Dallas continues to.
Dak's out.
I love it.
Dak is out. Zeke's out for. He's like on a quiet suspension from the team due to detrimental activities. They tried to bring in with Dalvin Cook,
Mm-hmm.
He's already been sent back down to the practice squad.
Wasn't
Got
it,
that notification yesterday.
mm,
Yeah. So, I mean, you got Rico Dowdle. Pretty good running back to have in fantasy right now because he's about their only option. Because
yeah.
now you got, what's his name? Brush? Is that his name?
Yeah, without Dak there, that offense is, whew.
Oh, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I feel bad for all the CD Lamb owners.
I don't feel bad for a single one of them.
I do think CD Lamb's a good receiver, but I do not like the Dallas Cowboys
Hate the
at
Cowboys.
all. And then they go, and then Jerry Jones goes and trades a third-round pick for a guy who's had one catch for 1 yard in 3 weeks combined.
I love it. I love it.
Like, like is he going senile? Like, what the hell's going on here? So he's slowly turning into the what's his name, the Snyder of owners in the NFL, just burying his team with stupid contracts and stupid off-season moves.
Yeah,
Or
they
stupid
said
in-season, well, both off-season and in-season.
Dak and CD Lamb, I saw this yesterday, I believe, are going to account for 140 or 130 million dollars against the cap next year,
My goodness.
which is like 30 or 40% of their
Total for two guys. That's a lot.
So
That's a lot.
that's rough.
Yeah.
Couldn't happen to a better team. So next we got Miami at Buffalo. We both had Buffalo.
Yeah.
Close game.
A lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
Buffalo normally blows them out of the park, especially in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, but we talked about it. That team is a complete 180 team when two is under center. So he is the gel that gets that engine going for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that they opened up some weaknesses with Buffalo because Buffalo, besides the Ravens, they've been stomping everybody for the most part.
Yep. There's holes in that defense.
There is. Yep. And I didn't see them make any large moves to shore that up with the trade deadline yesterday, which we'll get to at the
end. Big day for us. But next we had the Raiders at the Bengals. Bengals
5
pulled
touchdowns
that off
from Joe again.
Yep.
Man, good Lord.
Joe Burrow is
he's doing everything he can to bring that team back.
Yeah.
You can't fault the guy. He's doing everything that he possibly can. So and it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow night. I'll be there. So should be a fun game to watch. The first game was all fireworks. So
lots of points.
Yep. Might be the first Thursday game in a long time that the overs might be a guaranteed
since Atlanta.
Lock. Since Atlanta, yeah. Yep. Atlanta, Tampa Bay. You're right.
And then we had the Chargers at the Browns. I went Chargers. You went Browns.
I went Browns.
It's one for the good guys.
Guess he couldn't go back to back. So
Jameis is streaky, but
streaky's an understatement. But it's so the Chargers have that ground attack, the ground and pound, and hold you on defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're going to win games. They don't. I mean, they have one big play. So Herbert's not your top 5 fantasy quarterback this year. He doesn't have all these weapons around him. Harbaugh's like, I need you to manage my game. I need you to make the throws when they need to be made. Other than that, the running backs are going to take care of moving the ball up and down the field, and our defense will stop people.
Which, if you look at what's winning right now in the NFL this year, it's back to ground and pound football.
Ground and pound,
if
baby.
you can run the ball
consistently
against someone else's will, there is no better way to play offense.
And you have time management, clock control.
Yeah.
Right? You're controlling the clock at that point. You're guaranteed to walk away with most minutes holding the ball. And most of the time in the NFL, if you go up against a juggernaut offense that is score, barely misses, they can't. You limit the amount of times they have the ball, you're going to limit the amount that they score.
Mm-hmm. Next we had New England at Tennessee.
Lord.
Those Tennessee Titans pulled one out.
Interception in the end zone.
Yep.
Did you have the Titans?
I did.
You did take them? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it took New England.
So
I was thinking they were going to go back to back.
It's +2 for Kevin, if anyone's counting. Then we had the Commanders at the Giants. Commanders.
I talked you out of the Giants too. I did.
You did.
You very much wanted to go with the Giants.
I wasn't actually going to pick them, but
you in your mind,
I thought it would have been closer than it was.
Yeah,
but I was wrong.
Yep.
I'm glad I was wrong.
Oh, I know you are. I know you are.
And then we had New Orleans at Carolina, and I picked Carolina.
What a stinker! Good
Dumpster fire game of the
Lord, it
week.
was. You called it, and it was. So does
Um,
that okay? So it's been so a couple things I've heard on ESPN and Twitter and or X and everything is has new did that solidify New Orleans as the worst team in the NFL now?
they've got an argument. There's
Yeah,
no doubt about
yeah.
that.
They made an argument. Yep,
Um,
yep. But I think something good, very good, came from that loss.
they fired Dennis Allen, and we got Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Commanders got Marshawn Lattimore. Yes.
So
stud cornerback
yeah,
to re-up that, to reassure that defense.
so that's a good thing. Hopefully, our defense can put it together. But next we had Denver at Baltimore. We both had the Ravens.
I definitely thought it was going to be closer than that after the stinker the Ravens had done last week. But 41 points. Lamar,
they beat who they're supposed to beat.
We were supposed to be
this
Cleveland.
week.
We were supposed to be Cleveland.
And then you were supposed to beat the Raiders.
Yeah, we were supposed to beat the Raiders, yeah.
But this week they did what they were supposed to do.
They did.
They took care of business.
Yep.
That's what you want.
Yep. 2 touchdowns for Zay, 2 touchdowns for King Henry. And, the reporter there brought up a good point. Like, I mean, them two could be the top 2 candidates for MVP. Lamar and Henry, and Derrick Henry just came out and said, he goes, MVP's going to him.
It's got to be Lamar.
Yeah.
20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Dude.
It's
best, highest passer rating, number 2 in total yards.
The pure passer thing, I still think Jaden Daniels is better. But as far in that offense, though, 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 interceptions. It's hard to compete with. I recognize I sound like an idiot when I'm saying that,
but no. But not only that, it's the guy's got 22. He's number 2 overall in passing touchdowns in the NFL. He's number 2 in yards, and that's with having the number 1 running back in yards and the number 1 running back, same guy, in touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. Makes it a little easier to throw the ball if you can run.
Makes it a lot easier. But the fact that he's still putting up that big of numbers while having a guy who has a clear lead on rushing touchdowns on the year and rushing yards on the year, it's like he is taking advantage, and that's where that passer rating comes into play, right? He is taking advantage. I think he went 17 of 19 this past weekend. He was 17 of 19. And we only had to throw the ball 19 times. Imagine that.
It's a good day.
Imagine the winning formula, like we just spoke about. Run the ball.
Yep.
Monkin.
Then we had the 4 o'clock games. Jacksonville at Philly. We had Philly. Holy shit, did you see that Saquon Barkley run?
I was talking to my father about that. Imagine, so I said, don't think about Saquon. Think about the defender. Right? He is going to be on every Madden game intro. He's going to be on every NFL films for the next 50 years because of that play that Saquon made.
It's crazy.
That was it's not normal. That's not normal. That up in my top spots, I had that Lamar run against Cincinnati a few years ago where he hit B and did the spin move on 5 of the defenders. Like, that was a video game play. You can't even do what Saquon did in a video game. You can do what Lamar did in a video game.
Exactly.
You cannot do that in a video game. That went above and beyond video game status.
Yeah. But more importantly,
crazy.
Philly is finding their stride.
They are. But that game was closer. Remember, we both said Jacksonville was going to make it tough, but we both felt Philly was going to come out on top.
Yep.
So, but yes, I do think you are right. Philly is starting to find their stride, and that can be scary for the NFC.
Go figure. They're running the ball well.
Yeah. Imagine that.
There's a theme.
Run the ball some more.
There's a theme.
Yep.
Next, we had the Bears at the Cardinals. We both had Arizona.
Oh, okay, good. I thought it was Chicago. Thought it went Chicago. But what a route by Arizona. Run game again. 3 running backs, 3 touchdowns, two of them over 60 yards, and Connor had almost 100.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I think Harrison Jr. only had like 2 or 3 catches. I don't think now Trey McBride had a hell of a game. Kyler was slinging it to Trey McBride, the tight end there, but I mean, once again, ground and pound. Let your defense hold up a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, and then next we had Detroit at Green Bay. We both had Detroit, and they took care of business.
Detroit, I think that this was the statement game for Detroit. They went into Green Bay. It was bad weather. They showed why they are the beast
Yeah,
from the NFC.
I think their style fits better for bad weather. Even
Oh, with the run game,
you know,
100%.
even though the Packers, that's their mo
Mm-hmm.
and everything, but
Yep. No, it's.
they
I
handle
mean,
business.
I put the Commanders as a solid playoff team, and I love my Ravens. I don't know who's going to stop Detroit.
Kansas City, maybe
Yeah, I hope
in the
not.
Super Bowl,
I hope not.
um,
I really don't want to see a three-peat, but yeah.
but we'll see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we had the Rams at Seattle, overtime thriller.
Oh, Matt
How about
Stafford
that?
still got it.
Still got it.
Still got
And
it.
that game was a lot closer than we thought.
Yes. Who did we go with on that
We
one?
both had the Rams.
We both took the Rams. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
So
Yeah, that was definitely a lot closer than
Seattle
it should
tied
have
it
been.
late, and
Puka got kicked out of the game early for throwing a punch.
oh, did he?
Yeah, you missed that. Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
watch.
He got booted. He
I don't have red zone.
Stafford. Yeah, Stafford threw an interception. Went right over Puka's head, and Puka was getting up very slowly, and the defender just sat there and waited for him to get up, and then hit him pretty hard, like as he was blocking. And Puka took it personal and took a swing at him. So threw the
It
flag and
happens.
threw him out right
Yeah.
away.
Mm.
Well, but I mean that offense is scary when you got Cup
Cooper Cup.
and
Yep.
Puka out there on the field. I mean, give Stafford some options to throw to. Kieran Williams has still been doing pretty well.
And if they have those options out there to throw to, that opens up the run game.
Correct.
So,
Yep. Correct.
Next we had Indy at Minnesota.
Flacco played.
He played.
They didn't win, but
the,
it was a lot closer.
Something about that guy Joe Flacco.
Some about it's a pocket passer, man. He's a pocket passer. I just feel comfortable with him under center. No, it's I don't know. Like the Vikings didn't dominate like I thought they should have in that game, so I felt Joe at least kept Indy in the game.
I think
And
Indy's getting up there for not worst team in the league, but they're definitely in the bottom
they've slid down to the bottom 15. Yeah, I mean,
bottom 10 even, I would say.
yeah. It'd be hard pressed to name 10 teams worse.
Because I think it doesn't matter who they have at quarterback, whether it's Flacco or I think they're
They
worse
don't.
off with Anthony Richardson because
Well, I'll say this. I will say this. Minnesota's defense dominated because
oh yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, he didn't have 40 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jonathan Taylor had 36 yards, didn't have a touchdown. Flacco didn't do much. I mean, it was
They couldn't protect him.
They couldn't at all. And which threw him back. He's probably having Baltimore flashbacks there.
Yeah. So,
but did we both have Minnesota in that?
Both had Minnesota, and then Monday night we both had Kansas City, which that game went into overtime too.
Baker. I mean, we called it though, right? We knew, like we both said, like if there's any quarterback right now hot enough to overtake. Now, does Tampa Bay win that game with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think so. I think so because it's all. I mean, really, all Baker has to throw to is Kate Otten. That's really his next to only target. Now their run, once again, we're back to the run game, aren't we? So their run game is great. They got a couple really good running backs that they keep in rotation back there.
Kansas City's run defense might be the best in the league.
Yeah, very well could be. Very well could be. And Kansas City was running the ball fairly well too for having a couple older running backs in Kareem Hunt and Samaje Perine. I had a nice big parlay on that when you got mad at me because
Thanks for sharing it.
Listen. Everyone I've sent, except for the one on Sunday, which you told me you were going to tail and also hit.
I did. I only tailed it for like $5.
Well,
by that time, my funds were low. I had already cooked up like 10 $5 parlays, and they were all shitty. I need to just give up.
Listen, I gave you a slice of cake on Sunday. All right. It was going bad Monday. I had to eat the rest on my own.
Hit me earlier than that.
No. So that, I mean, it was a K. Dot and anytime touchdown just because he's the hottest target right now in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
I had a Baker Mayfield to throw 1+ touchdowns, Pat Mahomes to throw 1+ touchdowns. Those are pretty much the locks, just kind of to boost the odds a little bit. I had what else did I have on there? K. Dot over 50 receiving yards, which he cleared in the first half. and then I had Chiefs money line and Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown, and that bet cashed on the very last play of the game because Kareem Hunt ran it in for a touchdown
There you
for
go.
Kansas City to win. So, yep, I went to bed before it ended because when I went to bed, um, no Kareem Hunt even near the red zone, and Tampa Bay was going score for score with him. So I'm like, there's a chance Kansas City doesn't even win this game. So when I woke up, I immediately went to my DraftKings account and I saw that it was like
Yes.
I saw that it was like over 200 balance, and I'm like,
It's going to be a good
I
day.
hit. Let's go. Let's finish this week out strong. Yep. So, but yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Good week for you though, man. That
Yes.
was
So the only one I
definitely
had wrong was
which most of the nation
the
did.
first one.
The
Yeah.
Houston and the Jets. Yep.
So, which even they were hinting at it with the Jets being favored.
They
but
were trying to tell us something. We just didn't want to
I
listen.
didn't listen. So
we never do.
up next, we're on to week 10.
Okay.
Do we want to talk? You want to do trade deadline first?
Yes, do a quick trade deadline
All right.
overview. So definitely the A move was your. I think you guys are tied for the best move moving forward in the league. You guys obviously went out and picked up Marshawn Lattimore. I don't feel like you gave up too much. He's a young cornerback. Had a little bit of injury history in the past, but he's been healthy the past year and a half.
And I think he's under contract for a few years.
He is under contract, so you're getting him under a semi decent contract. And they always rewrite shit, so whatever works in your guys' favor.
Yeah.
But I think you now have that solid shutdown corner that when you go up against an AJ Brown, hey, we need you to stop AJ. That's what we need you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So but I think who is tied with you guys is Detroit with picking up Zadarius Smith. They got that edge rusher that they needed back after losing Aiden Hutchinson, and I think he played for the Ravens for a few years. I know how scary that guy can be. He has a high motor, and he's a good leader on the field as well.
Yeah.
And they don't have too many veterans on that defensive side of the ball, so you could see him step up and be a veteran leader in that locker room to be the edge that they need. But there's no reason to think that you won't see a Lions Commanders NFC championship.
I mean, I feel I don't want to say that out loud.
I will. I'll say it for you. I mean,
it could happen.
It's very hard to argue against right now. There's very few other teams in the NFC. Like we said, Philly's getting rolling, but they could easily fall right off the table again.
So could we.
Yeah, but I think you guys have a winning formula that's not hard or that's not easy to mess up. Like you guys run the ball, you make safe plays. You've Jaden Daniels doesn't turn the ball over, which is huge for a rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And now you just re-upped. You doubled down on your defense. You went out and got a stud cornerback.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you guys are definitely that move said. If it's not this year, we're going to reload again in the offseason. We'll be right back here again next year.
Tons of cap room.
Tons of cap room. Yep. And you got a rookie quarterback who'll be on the same contract for at least 3 years before he starts demanding more money.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go there. Your running back situation, Eckler, he's on a prove it deal right now.
He's been a huge piece.
He had
he was huge on Sunday.
You called it in the preseason that he was going to come in and be that guy to throw the screens to and just take off. And that's all he did on Sunday. Screen left, screen right, back screen, front screen. I'm like, he couldn't be stopped.
With no Brian Robinson, they had to,
that was a sad scratch right at like last minute because all the reports that I were reading was he had practiced all week. He was looking good to go. And all of a sudden, he like right before I went to put in my touchdown parlays, because obviously he was going to be on it. Mm-hmm. He got scratched for the game, but I guess they figured that he wasn't as much needed against the Giants, so why not give him that extra week of rest?
Yeah.
So, and have you guys had your bye week yet?
Nope.
No. That'll be nice. Right. Anything past, I believe, this week is the best opportunity to have a bye week.
Yeah.
So you don't want to have it early. Like Detroit had theirs week 4. Guys run out of gas. It's a longer season and all that stuff. I mean, granted, their best bet is going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC, which they are right now,
mm-hmm.
to get that first round bye and that'll be a second bye week that they get.
Yeah. My Eckler take,
So.
though, came from a guy that lives in our neighborhood who's one of like the sports guys on, I think, Channel 9.
Really?
Scott, yeah. He's
Okay.
like, Eckler's going to have a big year.
Has he been feeding you picks?
No.
Okay.
No,
I was all
no.
right. I was like, all of a sudden you pull a 12 out of 13 out your ass. I'm like, you've been talking to him a little extra, huh?
So, but yeah, I think the Commanders are in a good spot. They've made a move.
Made a big move.
Big,
Not
big,
one of those.
big move.
It wasn't a sidestep move like a lot of teams tend to do. It was a step up.
And I think arguably the biggest need we had is at corner.
Sure.
We have a need at wide receiver
Sure.
too, but our receivers are playing well right now.
They are.
I think part of that's due to the run game and Jaden Daniels.
Yep, and the system that you got. Once again,
So-
back to that offensive system
Yeah.
where it is run first, but Jaden Daniels doesn't turn the ball over. He can run. He is mobile when he needs to be mobile. So yeah, I think that you guys, you do. I say this all season. You guys will go out and try to find a number 2 behind Scary Terry. And I think you guys, reshore up maybe the safety position somehow, some way. And of course, just keep, if you can improve O-line, always improve O-line with a young quarterback, with a young mobile quarterback.
And Bobby Wagner has been
leader,
huge piece
leader.
to the defense.
Absolutely.
But anyways, This is not a Commanders podcast.
No. But
excited
when you look at ESPN, who's everybody talking about? The Cowboys. And it was funny, Stephen A. Smith called out somebody the other week. It's like, man, why are we always talking about the Cowboys? He goes, because 90% of our listeners are Cowboys fans. That's why we talk. He goes, it's about money. It's about ratings. He goes, yes, there are 31 other teams in the NFL. He goes, but most of our viewership wants to hear about them. So that's who we got to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about whatever the hell we want to.
Yeah.
So, because it's our podcast, we're not zoned into anybody specifically, but we do talk about the Cowboys and how bad they suck.
I love it. I love it.
We mention it at least once a week.
Couldn't happen to better people. So,
but changing of the tides in the NFC East, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I think Philly's got this year. They might have one more run in them next year as a playoff team, and then I think they got to look at rebuilding. So unless that management just keeps going out and spending money. So, but I think the tides are changing. That Giants are going to be last for quite some time unless they pull a miracle out of the draft.
They need a quarterback.
So yeah, big time.
But
what are they going to do with all that dead money? They got to wait 2 more years for that dead money's gone. Yeah, that was real smart.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. There were some other moves made around the league. Ravens went out and got a cornerback, because
Tre'Davious White.
Humphrey still. He big name. Wasn't what he was when he was with the Bills a few years ago, but
maybe you can find it.
Veteran, maybe he works in our system a little bit better than he has other places. And with a big question mark on Humphrey and his return, we had to go out and get somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So because the young guys aren't stepping up, and I'm not saying his name because I better not see him on the field on Thursday, or I'm betting every dollar that I have in the bank on Cincinnati to win, because Joe Burrow is going to throw for 8 touchdowns and break the NFL single game record against us. But one thing I better see on Thursday, 25 plus runs. I don't care if they're all Henry. I don't care. We could see Keaton Mitchell this week coming off of the IR, but they're better. We better have 25, 30 plus rushes. We just talked about it. Control the ball. Do not let Joe have the ball.
It's a good plan.
Yep.
All right. Yep. So starting there, Thursday night, we got the Bengals at the Ravens. Now, Lamar, is he practicing, or has he practiced this week?
No, he's been questionable, but he'll play.
Okay.
He'll play. There's no way he's going to be a scratch.
If Lamar does not play, I'm out.
Oh.
But I'm going Ravens.
Yeah. Ravens, prime time, at home.
You're going Ravens as well. Okay. Up next, we got in Germany on Sunday. This is a dumpster fire game of the week.
Yes. Poor Germans.
It absolutely is.
They're still paying for World War II.
It is the Giants at the Panthers. That game is just not exciting at all.
No. No, there's not a touchdown. There's not a single person touchdown that I
Who
would.
played quarterback for the Panthers last week?
Bryce.
Bryce.
Yeah,
He played decent.
he won.
This is,
I mean, New Orleans doesn't have a bad defense.
you know what? I'm going Carolina. And I will say this: the Giants are favored by 6.
I'm joining you with Carolina.
All right.
Yeah, and not just to tell you because I know you got like a 5-game lead on me now. I I watched a few highlights from that game. Excuse me, that was probably disgusting, but I watched a few highlights from that Carolina game in New Orleans, and Bryce was feeling it. He was feeling it. So hopefully he can take that to Germany and do it again.
Yeah. Next in America, we have the Patriots.
Mm-mm.
How American is that?
Right.
At the Bears. Bears are favored by 6. I am going to take the Bears.
I like Chicago in that one as well.
All right.
I almost don't like them covering 6 though. I would like New England plus 6, but
yeah, the Bears have really fallen off, and that's kind of becoming a.
Yeah. But because it's at Chicago,
and because they're playing the Patriots,
and I think Keenan Allen comes back this week.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think then that's probably why they're plus or minus 6. So yeah, I'll go Chicago with you on there. But if I'm taking points, I would probably take New England with the points. So I don't think
Bears can't score anyway. So
they've had one good game offensively.
Yeah,
that's it.
Next we got the Bills at the Colts.
Bills. That's an easy one. Yep.
I mean, Bills are only favored by 4, which is a little suspect.
Trying to speak to something. I mean, Joe could be out there. That to me is a James Cook anytime touchdown game. And Buffalo does not have the same run defense that Minnesota has. So I would even say parlay it with a Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown. Jonathan Taylor hasn't had 2 back-to-back bad games, I don't think, is his entire career. So I think this is a big bounce back week for him.
It's a good idea.
Yep. So nice little 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Anytime touchdown.
I did see. I think Keon Coleman is hurt right now too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Him or the tight ends.
James. Oh yeah, that too. Yep.
But
absolutely. Kincaid and
Dawson Knox.
Yep. Interesting names. Kincaid and Knox.
Yep. Did you see that psychic guy go through and wasn't that nuts?
That freaked me out. I wouldn't have been able to stay in that room.
Got his pin code and everything.
I wouldn't have been able to stay in that room for very long. Yeah. You need to get the hell away from me, sir.
Next, we got Broncos at Kansas City. Yep. Don't need to say anything about that game.
No.
Atlanta at New Orleans. Atlanta's favored by 3.5. I'm going to take Atlanta.
Why is it only 3.5?
I think New Orleans gets a bump with firing Dennis Allen. But
why is it only 3.5? I mean, I'm going Atlanta too.
Derek Carr did play last week, right?
Yes, he did. Why is it only 3.5? But
you're going Atlanta?
Atlanta. I got Atlanta winning that division, and right now they're looking very strong to win that division.
Next, we got San Francisco coming off of the bye with Christian McCaffrey coming back likely at Tampa Bay.
Oh.
And it's a 1:00 game.
Poor Baker, man. So it's at Tampa Bay,
and it's a 1:00 game. So
poor Baker, man. They just keep throwing everything they can at that man. Give me San Fran. I like Frisco, especially with off the bye. I know they're traveling over to the East Coast, but they're coming off the bye, so they'll probably get there a little early.
I agree. I'm going San Francisco.
Yeah,
I want to take Tampa, but I think they're running out of magic.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're going to start seeing a little bit of a slowdown with Baker. Unfortunately, because he was having a magical season.
I think looking back at that game last week, they scored to tie it up right before the end. They should have gone for 2.
Should have.
Because if John
Harbaugh was the coach, they would have. I can tell you that.
Hairball.
Oh yeah.
That's what I hear a lot of people calling him. But Pittsburgh at the Commanders.
Oh,
sneaky good game.
Pittsburgh, hey, back to that trade deadline. Pittsburgh made a couple good moves too.
Did they?
Went out and got Mike Williams, who I don't think his career is done. I just think Aaron Rodgers didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
And they also went out and got a very good pass rusher. Yeah. So I'm going Pittsburgh in that one, buddy.
All right.
Sorry.
Good for you.
Yeah.
We didn't want you to pick us anyway.
I think Jaden Daniels going to be running for his life a little bit against that defense.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
But I can't pick against them.
No, I know.
So that's a win for you.
You never know.
But
that might be the. Is that a 4:00 game or still
no? It's
one?
1:00.
Still one. That's the highlight 1:00 game. If Tampa Bay was at full strength, that Tampa Bay San Francisco game would be. But because Tampa Bay is not at full strength, that is the premier 1:00 game.
Yeah, so we'll probably have Romo, I'm assuming, calling it. But
Yep.
and then Romo or Tom Brady, depending on what channel.
Brady usually does the 4:00 games.
Okay.
So it'll probably be Romo.
I had something I was going to say, but I completely forgot. Anyway, Minnesota at Jacksonville. Minnesota's favored by 5. Something sneaky about going to Jacksonville.
I'm taking Jacksonville.
I'm going to take Minnesota.
I knew you
I think Minnesota, coming off that bye, has still not found their stride that they had. But maybe they find it this week.
And Jacksonville had something going last week. They just ran into a team that's moving a little bit quicker than them.
Yep.
And I don't think Minnesota's moving as quickly as Philly is right now.
Yeah. Next, we got the Titans at the Chargers. Chargers are favored by 7.5. I like the Titans to cover, but I like the Chargers to win.
Chargers will win.
You agree?
Yeah, Chargers.
All right. And then next, we got Eagles at Dallas. Why are we Philly?
Mm-hmm. Watch Dallas make that closer than it needs to be, though. Watch Cooper Rush come out, throw for 290 yards,
And
2
5
touches, yeah, 2 touchdowns. Like, watch that game just be stupid close for no reason.
It probably will be. Philly does play down to, but anyway.
And it's a division game.
Yep.
Which are always closer.
Next, we got to pick them. Jets at the Cardinals.
At Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Arizona. They find ways to win. I said it 2 weeks ago, and I'm sticking to it. Arizona finds ways to win.
I agree. I think I'm not a Jets guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
not sold on them yet.
Next, we got Sunday night game. Lions at Texans. I'm going Lions.
Detroit. They could put up another 40 points. Yeah. If the Jets did what they did to Houston, Detroit could put up 40-plus points in that game.
Detroit's just going to out-physical them.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yep.
Yeah. But then we had Monday night. This is a really good game. Dolphins at Rams. I'm going to go Rams. But I'm not in love with the pick. I think, I don't know. I'm second-guessing myself. But something about them playing at home. Stafford's found it.
I got to make up some ground. I'm going Miami.
Okay.
Who's the favorite in that?
Rams are favored by 1, so it's
pick them. Yeah, literally. Yeah. I like Miami.
So
I think
that's week 10.
We don't have many different picks this week. I think 3 maybe.
So could go. I do think we only have 2 or 3.
Yeah, you could take a very commanding lead to lead me to have to go opposite of you no matter what, or I could get a few back.
See what happens.
There's one that I think that I'm going to lock in with.
Steelers?
One back, yeah. Commanders are good, but Pittsburgh went out and made some moves, and they're deep.
It's about time for Russell Wilson to throw some interceptions.
Yeah, no.
But I think our defense has only gotten 1 pick all year.
Oh, that's rough.
So, also, I don't know how good we are at stopping the run. And I know that's going to be tested.
Pittsburgh runs.
But anyway.
Runs heavy.
Runs
Runs heavy.
we'll see what happens there.
Anytime touchdowns?
Tyreek Hill. I
Okay.
like that
All
this
right.
week. It's been a little while since he scored.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? I like
Jamar Chase. He lights
that's
us
a
up.
yeah.
And Derrick Henry, obviously, primetime game, they're going to get Henry the ball.
That's probably a good same game parlay.
Yeah.
Um,
What about
and
McCaffrey? Do you put if McCaffrey plays? You put something. They're
yeah,
going to try to get him in the end zone.
absolutely.
So McCaffrey anytime touchdown.
I'm trying to look right now too.
Jonathan Taylor we talked about already.
Yeah, that's a
Taylor
good
and
one.
Zach
And Cook.
Moss. Cook or
Zach Moss
Moss?
is on IR for the Bengals.
Oh, it's James Cook. That's right.
Yeah,
Sorry, I don't know why I thought
James
Zach.
Cook.
Zach Moss used to play for Buffalo. That's right.
Yeah.
James Cook. Sorry about that.
I like a Saquon Barkley touchdown.
Sure.
As long as they don't get to the 2 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Couple good ones to bet.
I feel like an Amon-Ra St. Brown
On Sunday
touchdown
night. On
too.
Sunday night. Amon-Ra St. Brown paired with Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon has scored just about every game that he was hurt for a week or two, but every other game he's been in, I believe he scored at least one touchdown. So I think a Joe Mixon, Amon-Ra combo. I mean, even you could even throw in David Montgomery if you wanted to. Him and Jahmyr Gibbs find the end zone almost every week.
Let's see what we got for college football this week.
Okay. Make sure we're still running.
All right. This is basketball. No, this is football. Yeah, college basketball is back.
Yes.
Yep. Let's see. Iowa UCLA Friday night is somewhat interesting.
Wow.
Navy lost last week, which is disappointing.
Who did they lose to?
Rice.
Ooh, we thought
which was like a 5-hour weather delay.
We thought they were going to come out and blow them out.
Yeah, we did.
After getting spanked by Notre Dame.
Interested to see how they come out this week.
Yeah.
And then we got Maryland plays Oregon.
Oof.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. Overs in that game? Think be a good bet?
I don't know. 57.5 is the total. Yeah. I don't know. Oregon hasn't come out and put up 50 or 60 and stuff like they used to this year, but it is Maryland.
Is that at Maryland or at Oregon?
It's at Oregon.
Oh, okay. I was going to say College Park would be pumped to get that game.
Yeah. And then we got Florida at Texas. Florida kept it somewhat close with Georgia.
Yeah, Texas should take it.
Minnesota at Rutgers is a sleepy, pound the ball. Maybe probably take the under. Total there is 46.5. Georgia and Ole Miss. That's a good one. Georgia's only favored by 2.5.
Wow, they were considered juggernauts going into the season.
Michigan at Indiana. How about Indiana 9-0? Kurt Signetti just says, "Google me, I win." What a badass thing to say. Trying to see if I see anything else. Florida State at Notre Dame, but Florida State sucks. Alabama LSU.
There's the game of the weekend for Saturday.
Both of them are 6-2.
There's Saturday's big game.
Alabama's favored by 3. Saturday night at LSU.
I think if Bama loses that game, you got to look that they're not going to make the playoff with 3 losses.
Both of them, it's an elimination game. Which they came out with the playoff projector or whatever.
They did. Week. I didn't see it yet.
I think they were in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really about it.
Good little slate, though.
Yeah.
So I think the NFL game of the week is tomorrow. Ravens Bengals.
That's gonna be a
hard pressed to find another game on there that's besides Pittsburgh Commanders.
I agree. They're both exciting games.
Yeah. Now,
Dolphins and Rams is somewhat exciting.
could be fun. Could be fun to watch.
Frisky and fun.
If Houston was at full strength, that would be the game of the week. Houston, Detroit. If they had all their wide receivers and all that
they don't
stuff.
excite me all that much. I know you're high on Houston, but
yeah,
I'm not.
I just like D'Amico Ryans a lot. I think he's a hell of a coach.
Yeah.
So to do what he did last year with that team, they weren't even expecting to go 500, make the playoffs.
True.
But dad moment.
I had something else.
Oh,
how about this? Did you watch the election last night?
I did. Well,
how long did you make it?
10:45.
I made it to midnight.
Okay.
But
when did they call it officially?
I think it was not until like
2:30, 3 o'clock?
2 or 3 a.m.
Gotcha.
But I still don't know if she's come out and
she
acknowledged
has not.
that.
I looked at a note. So, somebody actually. It's funny enough. I was reading a post in the parking.
We are not a politics.
No, not at all. As I pulled into the parking lot, I stopped and I pulled up Facebook really quick just to check a status, and somebody had posted not trying to be political. Usually that means something political is getting ready to be said. But they were like, I find it very disheartening that that Harris has not come out and addressed her party or anything like that. And it's like, I don't know. It is what it is.
Guy.
But I will say this. I was switching back and forth between CNN, which is usually primarily Democratic, and Fox, which is usually primarily Republican. And the guy who was running the touch board for each one, I was like, this seems like an NFL countdown type of thing right now. And then somebody put the Red Zone theme song over top of them doing it, and I was like, I knew it. Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like they're breaking down plays when they're just breaking down counties and everything. I'm like, that's so funny.
I saw one thing where it was like College Game Day could make this way more exciting.
Oh my goodness. You imagine Pat McAfee?
Right outside of the White House.
Yes. Just set up. Yes. Absolutely. Red on one side, blue on the other. Just, yes. Yes.
Singing Kid Rock on one side and Cardi B on the other.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So,
yes. If you're in politics, set that up next year. You'll be the most watched televised showing of everything.
It would be 4 years, but
sorry, you know what I meant.
I think
you know what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. So, dad moment for me would be, I got kind of a twofer.
Okay.
Obviously, Halloween was last week.
Mm-hmm.
Going trick or treating with the kids.
Yep.
Obviously
seeing
how much
up?
they love that. I did not.
Okay.
No.
So you just came as a dad this year.
Yeah, I was dad.
Gotcha.
I didn't need to. Did
it.
you?
I did.
Good for you.
I did. You saw it. You saw the picture. Yep. Yeah, we were the Incredibles. I was Mr. Incredible.
I did see that. That's
Kate
right.
Was,
that seems like so long ago.
It does. It was just last week.
Like we had Halloween.
Yep.
And then the time change this weekend.
Time change happened over the weekend. Election yesterday. Yeah. Feels like a whole year's gone by.
I'll tell you this. I got one for you.
Okay.
So we, Alyssa took down all the Halloween stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We already had fucking Christmas trees up.
Ah, yes!
So
that's amazing.
We put a Christmas tree up in the basement with we got like a train board down there too.
Nice.
The train goes around.
Love
the kids
that.
love that.
Absolutely.
So that's the other piece of my dad moment.
There you go.
Seeing that.
There you go.
And then also we celebrated my parents' 40th wedding anniversary.
Congrats to the G family.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So,
look at that. Mama and Papa G.
Yep.
Very nice.
Big weekend.
I was going to say, sounds like it. Sounds like you guys had a busy weekend. Yeah, my first Halloween with little man, he was Jack from The Incredibles, so I spiked his hair up and everything. He was not the rambunctious Jack like from the movies. He was more chill. He just kind of wanted to sit, and we just pushed him around in the stroller and went up to a couple houses in my parents' neighborhood, and then after about one block, we called it quits because he just kind of was starting to fall asleep on everybody's shoulder.
There you go.
So yeah, he was, and we got there as early as we could. We started at like 6:30, and it was just he hadn't taken a nap that day, so he was struggling there. So and then of course 6:30 is that marker where it's like we can't let him sleep or he won't sleep through the night. So we had to do everything we could to keep him awake at least for another hour and a half or so.
Let's make it 7:30.
Just make it. And then the time change really screwed him. Really screwed him
Up early?
Not up early, wanting to go to bed earlier. He hasn't been waking up earlier, but he's been wanting, he's dead tired at 7:00 because it's normally 8:00. We would normally start getting him ready for bed around 8. So with him being an hour behind, now we're having, last night when we were sitting there watching the race and everything, I'm holding him up, I'm playing with him, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and just trying to get him through at least a week or two, I guess, until his body starts to readjust to that 1 hour. But yeah, that's my dad moment, dealing with the clocks going back and having a 9-month-old and trying to get him on that. But he has officially, he eats what we eat now. That too. We've officially made that change over. So he did chicken and rice the other night. Last night he did noodles and green beans. Didn't want to try pork just yet because I heard that takes a while to digest. So haven't thrown that at him yet. He had spaghetti and meat sauce the night before.
Nice.
So yeah, he's been doing really good. But his favorite food right now is scrambled egg with avocado.
My kids Colt loves scrambled eggs.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but he just one whole scrambled egg will be gone. And he ate a whole avocado yesterday. He's eating a whole avocado every day for 4 days straight now.
It's good for him.
It is very good.
Yeah,
it's one of the and I can't stand it. I can't stand the smell. I don't like the taste. I don't like guac. I'm not a guac guy, but I'm glad that he does. I want him to like fruits. I want him to love vegetables. I want him to eat all that kind of stuff and be healthy, unlike me. So that was my dad moment for sure. Was him transitioning over and then working through the sleeping getting past that sleeping pattern of all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
I got a question for you. How many Christmas trees do you guys put up in your house?
Just one, but it's a real one.
Okay.
Yes, we go. So as a kid growing up in the city, I didn't know what the county was like. I didn't know what rolling hills and trees and forests. I didn't know what the hell I knew it was concrete and buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So as a kid, when I got old enough, probably about 5 or 6, my father started taking me out to the county, and we started
cutting a real tree.
Cutting down. Yep. Yes, going to one of the tree farms and cutting down a real tree. And we stopped doing that not long after my brother was born, just because it was too much to do every year and all that stuff. So when I moved into my new house with Kate, I told her, I said, listen, I said, if you want a fake tree somewhere, you can have a fake tree. I said, but I'm going to have a real tree every year, especially when we start having kids, because I want that to be an event. Take a Saturday or a Sunday, get up early in the morning, drive at Wolf Pine Farms. I'll give them a shout out. Pine Valley. Is it Wolf Pine? Pine Valley? One of those. It's actually not far from where you and Danny live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right by you guys. So we've gone 4 years. This will be year 4 now, 4 years in a row. But awesome place, great prices. I mean, I pay just about the same amount to go and cut it. You get a couple dollars off because you're cutting it down yourself. But fresh trees every year. They last a long time. Really good health. They trim them for you, all that good stuff. Load your truck up with it. You barely got to touch the tree while you're there. So, but it's a cool experience that I want to have with my kids and going and cutting it down. I ran into Adam Fitzpatrick there. He says he brings his family there all the time. Yeah. So, but it's it's local, family owned, all that kind of stuff. So I always want to support that stuff. But yeah, so we'll head out to Carroll County, Howard County. I forget what line it's on, and then we'll stop at EC Diner on the way back, grab some breakfast, and then head on home. And I trim it up a little more and get it set up. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. But yeah, one tree. Now my mother has
real Clark Griswold there.
A little bit. My mother has 3 trees at her house. I think she said that she's going back to 2. However, the 2, one of the trees is going to be just for Wesley, my nephew, and then the other tree will be just for Dominic. And then she looked at me and my brother and she said, "And your guys' stuff will just be off to the side." So that's fine. Hey. So the fact that I'm 30-some years old and you're still getting me Christmas gifts, it's like, okay. And I can't tell her no. She asked me, "What do you want?" Nothing. I got everything. I'm old enough now. I buy what I need. What do you want? Good luck. Still gets me stuff.
I hear you.
So
I hear you.
What about you guys? You said couple.
We do one in the basement.
Okay.
One.
You guys got a big house though. You got a big house. You got a lot of space in that house. So my over under would have been 3.
So we do one in the basement,
Okay.
one in the like middle level,
Okay.
and then in each bedroom there's like one of the
The
smaller
mini
like
trees,
yeah.
they still
So
count. So
if you're counting that,
the
then there's
overs hit.
actually 6,
Wow.
which is way over the top and unnecessary. But
Is the wife a huge Christmas
she
fan?
she likes it.
She likes it.
So my kids are
So
big into the Grinch stuff.
now what?
So
Oh, nice. There you go. Now, what about your outside? Do you decorate outside?
I've been conned into doing that. We got. I've always said I don't want the blow up stuff.
Okay.
But we had the blow up stuff
Mm-hmm.
last year. So
Yep.
but it died. So I don't think it's coming back.
The ones that I got are going on 3 years in a row now. So we do not have Christmas set up yet. Kate has Thanksgiving stuff that she put out, and I bought her this 6-foot huge inflatable turkey that sits in the front yard. So that goes out right now, and then the day after Thanksgiving that comes down, and then the Grinch with Max blow ups get put out there. We have 4 or 5, I believe, totes of outside Christmas stuff only. So she wraps our entire front porch with not only the green tinsel, but also lights. And then I wrap my entire back fence, top round, top post with lights all the way around as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's actually, so we've gotten into, like, we got a process with it to make it really easy. So I went out and I bought the stake that has all the extra plugs and outlets in it. I think I got like 5 100-foot outdoor extension cords to make sure everything I mean, we're the Clark Griswolds of the neighborhood. That's for sure. Yeah, we're really lit up. And I mean, one year she was like, what if we did a little thing on the roof? I said, you're not getting my fat ass up on that roof. I said anything I can't
Gotta check
reach,
every bulb.
anything I can't reach in a 6-foot ladder is we're
Not
not
happening.
not happening, not going above it. We're not. She goes, I'll get up there. I said, you're not getting up there. No. So, but yeah. So it was funny. So last year, I mean, Doc was born on the 20th. She was pregnant when we went out there and took everything down. I did my absolute best, but of course,
not good enough.
You as a fellow husband know it's never going to be good enough, especially the way I was putting it away.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She came out with a short sleeve, because I mean, she was 9 months fully pregnant. Short sleeve shirt with a winter jacket, pajama pants, and slippers, and she's like, oh my goodness. She goes, just bring me the cases. Just start bringing me everything. I'm like, okay, sounds good.
Boss.
She goes, you're just throwing it in there. You're gonna break it. I'm like, I'm sorry. I apologize. She goes, and I admit, like, I was not purposefully putting it away shitty. I just didn't want to organize it the way that she has it. Like I said, when I bring those cases up from the basement, it's like 2 go on the back porch. They're mine to start the backside first, and then the 3 go out on the front porch. And she does everything until she needs me to reach up high. And it's like she has it perfectly organized. I don't mind doing it because I not the biggest fan of Christmas, but I do like Christmas. I like the decorating. I like all that kind of stuff. Like this year, I do have an old train set that I plan on putting around the tree, especially with Doc. When you said the train set, I was like, that's awesome. I'm like, yeah, I got one too. Me and my grandfather used to build the train cities and all the time and all that stuff when I was a little kid. So yeah, but that's fun awesome. Times. Yeah, no, I'm kind of looking forward to it because I got a feeling we're gonna have a mild winter. So I think that we'll be able to take advantage. And then I'm really excited to see Doc and him seeing all the lights and everything awesome. Like that. Like just seeing his face light up. And he's not like a newborn baby.
Might not be this year. It might be next year.
Well, no, at least seeing the lights and everything should, because he's anything that lights up, he's like that. Like my Xbox controller, if we're in the middle, if he just fell asleep and I happen to turn it on and it's pitch dark in the room and it's just sitting there, I see him open his eyes and he's just staring at the little light with the X and everything. Hilarious. I'm like, and he just tries to get it really quick. I'm like, damn. So, but yeah, so that was our extended holiday moment.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, we'll have more holiday episodes coming up.
Top Christmas movies next.
Oh, there you go.
All right,
top three. Yeah, I like it. All right, till next time.